Okay, so I'm going to do a spoken word piece, and it's just called Words. I wrote it earlier this semester, so I hope you enjoy it. If you fear the unknown, you tend to stay away from the foreign, and when I happen to be the single foreigner in my class, let's just say things got lonely sometimes. When the teacher would check attendance, running through the list, names recited with ease, the mouths round the syllable as quickly as the eyes run down the paper. Jones, Smith, Williams, And that all too familiar pause sets in. Suspension lies thick and heavy like the humidity on a Providence summer day. As the teacher tries to save their own face, mine tries not to break into a cold sweat because once again I've been pulled into the spotlight. Once again I am reminded that my name was not prepackaged and wrapped to appease to the taste of American tongues. I am made aware of my presence, of my foreign presence. And that same old voice echoes in my head. Be aware of who you are, what you are, that you are a Filipina, a woman of color, an outsider, blessed by the graces of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services officer to live in a space that was not made for you, but by black and brown bodies like you. This space, this broad expanse of space is riddled with cracks, and these are where I squeeze and slip myself into, shoved aside to the margins. I lived within the narrow lines themselves. I have made a niche and have since navigated my way through these catacombs. But it hasn't been easy. The constant consciousness, every hello and excuse me, preface my poetics with apologies, tiptoe along the thin ice of my existence. Over the years, my voice box became an echo chamber, my mouth a megaphone for words compacted, commodified, shoved down my throat and swallowed hard. They fell like bluster from my lips, mere regurgitations than thoughtful expression. My body was more a vessel than a vehicle to store everything I had been told, everything I had heard, everything I had seen. My thoughts were a stagnant pool constantly pelted with a rain of other phrases, other opinions, the words of other people, shoving aside the molecules of my mind. And the surface rupturing in ripples, the outward motion, the slow reflection of how my own words were pushed to the margins to make way for those of others. For years, I collected these drops, some savory, others bitter, but in a very few with that rare melodic reverberation of yes, I resonate with this. For years, I kept all of them bottled up inside. Let the rain drip, 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 and the water rise. Oh, you're so tanned. You have such small eyes. You're Chinese, right? Or Japanese, whatever. They're all the same anyway. You're Asian. You must be good at math and science. Hey, can you tutor me sometime? Let the rain drip, 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 and the water rise. Do you speak English? Don't your people eat dogs? She's quiet. She won't mind if we cut her off mid-conversation, make her a sounding board to stow her away after use, or, and this is my favorite, see me as a flower plastered to the wall rather than a person. Now the thing with vessels is that they hold a finite volume, so eventually this pool within myself started filling up. The pressure was building up and up. I had to do something before I drowned in the sea of words. So sometimes I would open up. Stir the pot or the pool, so to speak, replace cold stagnants for swirls, currents, warmth, and energy. My words mixed and meshed with what I'd been heard and been taught. They bubbled up from my throat with the force of a geyser about to burst. Sometimes I let the weight give and gravity take nature's course, the full flood of vowels, consonants, sentences, tears, fears coming out, but all the while in urgency. Sputter out as many phrases and feelings as I possibly could, my mouth struggling to keep up with the surge of thoughts because the meter was running. I could only bar the space of conversation for so long, and if I went over, cut, clench, contract, retract back into myself, my words stumbling over themselves, tumbling in a mad rush back through the door, back into the vessel that was myself, and my mouth would return to its former familiar state, shut. Shut because I neither had the confidence nor the courage to reach out and let my words seep beyond those cracks and crevices for too long. Shut because I had been told that my voice didn't matter, or rather, it didn't matter as much. Shut because I had internalized this mandate. Make space and plenty of it before you take a little bit for yourself. Make space because I am an outside voice, an echo from a distant land, and whatever space I take up was never really mine to begin with. Quickly return what I borrowed, swallow down my sorrow of feeling ignored or forgotten, of feeling like a perpetual foreigner. It's hard. It has been hard for years, and it's only recently that I realized that I can break down these walls, that my voice does matter, and that it will be heard. So let me array, let me bridge that gap, string those millions of thoughts darting around like fireflies on a midsummer's night, and don't mistake my reticence for shyness or submission. I've simply learned to pick and choose my conversations, turn what I once ingested like medicinal poison into power, because my words are potent and my ideas potential, so please, if only for a moment, let me speak.